Hey guys, this is Ben with Tilmor, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you how to change the oil in your Tilmor 520 tractor. First, what we're going to want to do though is go in here, disconnect the battery with the battery disconnect switch, set the parking brake, and if you reference here on the sticker in front of the seat, it tells you the service intervals and the specified oil to use. To do this, you're going to want to make sure your tractor is parked on a level surface. Next, what we need to do is go ahead and remove this engine shield back here. So pull your seat forward, and we're removing these two and this one over here. Go ahead and remove this one first. To remove this shield, you're going to want to keep this hydraulic drain hose on the front side of it, and then take it and work and get it vertical. Once it's vertical like that, it should come up right out of there just like that. So go ahead and set that off to the side, and now we're ready to get down underneath. Before we go down under the tractor, we want to go in here to the oil fill cap, and we want to clean the dirt and debris away from it so that when we remove it, there's nothing that falls down into the engine. All right, and now we're ready to go down underneath and remove the drain plug. All right, now that we're down here under the tractor, the drain plug is located at the right rear of the oil pan. And to remove that, you're going to want a 14mm wrench. If you have a ratchet wrench, that works too really well. But to do this, I have noticed here at Tilmor, doing oil changes, they tend to get a little messy. The oil kind of runs up here on the frame. So I've actually cut out a funnel off of, just cut it from a old quart oil container, and I'm basically going to slip this up under the pan to act as a funnel. But before I slip it up under the pan, I'm going to take one of my wrenches and I'm going to break the drain plug loose. Don't remove it completely, just break it loose so you can remove it with your fingers after you get your funnel up there. So I'm demonstrating this. We're not actually going to change the oil, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So you'll go ahead and you'll break the drain plug loose, pull your wrench out of there, take your homemade funnel, and it just kind of slips up under the pan. And once you get it under there, you kind of grab the front of it and just place it up in there, just something kind of like that. And then what you're going to do is you'll put your right hand over on the right side of the funnel and your left hand on the left side and remove the drain plug, something like that. And that way, that's why we have to break the drain plug loose before. So once you get the drain plug removed, the oil, hopefully if everything's cut right and positioned right, will run out of this funnel down into our catch can. All right, now that we got the drain plug out of the pan, I want to come up here and remove the fill cap. And after you get the fill cap removed, just set it back over the valve cover so nothing falls down into the engine. The reason we remove the fill cap is just to allow the engine oil to flow out of the pan easier. This is what your plug is going to look like. And you want to notice that it does have a washer on there. So when you're draining the oil, if the plug falls in the pan, make sure you get the little copper washer as well. Get all this surface all cleaned up really nice and get it put back on there just like that. And then you're going to want to, after the oil is drained, pull your filter or your funnel out of the way here. Set it off to the side, maybe set it down in the pan if there's oil on it. And then you can go ahead and reinstall your drain plug. After you get that reinstalled, tighten it with just a single wrench, and then you can go ahead and clean up all this area here. Once you have that done, then we'll move up to the filter. All right, now after you have your drain plug back in, you have everything, the catch pan out of there and everything cleaned up under there, we're going to want to come up here, and where that engine shield was removed, that's where the filter is going to be at. You can use either style filter wrench, just your normal style strap wrench, or the cup style. That this one that fits our filters is a 65 millimeter with a 14 flats on it. Your local parts store should understand what those measurements mean. All right, now we'll roll under here, and when you're doing the oil filter, if you crack that filter loose, oil is going to start coming out of there. It's going to run all over the engine plate, and it will make a mess. So I'd recommend putting a cup up under here, just like that. Then you'll take your filter wrench and crack it loose, and hold the cup there so you don't knock it onto yourself and make an even bigger mess. Take and loosen the filter just so the oil starts coming out of the filter. And let it sit there and drain for a little while, and then you can completely remove the filter and set the filter down in the cup. Get rid of the filter and the cup. Clean up the surface on the engine. Put a little bit of clean oil on the O-ring of the filter, and go ahead and reinstall your filter back on your engine. When the gasket on the filter makes contact with the engine, go roughly another 3/4 of a turn. Only ever tighten it by hand because we don't want to over tighten it, but that's it. That's the way to replace the filter and prevent a big mess. All right, once you have removed your drain plug, drained your oil, reinstalled the drain plug, and removed and replaced the oil filter, now we're ready to add oil. So let's go up here to this access panel. Remove this panel and come in here. Let's remove that cap. And what works best is a flexible funnel that's at least 11 inches long. And we'll stick it down through here, and you'll have to guide it into the top of the valve cover. And once you have that, you're ready to add your oil. Refer to your owner's manual, or the sticker under the seat gives you the proper amount and the proper specified oil that we recommend. After you've added all the oil, pulled your funnel out, you want to go ahead and reinstall your cap. And after you have the cap installed back on the valve cover, at this time you're going to want to go up and start your tractor and run your tractor, let it build oil pressure, let it run for a minute to 2 minutes, and then shut it back off. And when you've done that, make sure there's no oil on the ground, make sure there's no leaks. Let it sit there for a couple minutes to let the oil drain back down into the pan, and then you'll go ahead and we'll check the oil level. Pull the dipstick out, we'll wipe it clean, stick the dipstick back in, make sure it's clear in, and pull it back out. And you want to make sure that the oil level is between these two marks. If the oil is below the bottom mark, then you'll need to remove the cap, put the funnel back in, and add to where it's in the operating level. If the oil is above the top mark, you're going to need to remove the drain plug and drain some oil out so it's in the middle in the specified operating level. All right, now that we've done all that, the oil level's good. We'll go ahead and we'll reinstall our access panel. once again, when you're putting these in, make sure you install them by hand first, get them all started, and then you're ready to tighten them up. All right, we're done back here, and now we'll go up to the front and reinstall the engine access panel. With this panel, again, you're going to want to keep it as vertical as possible and keep the panel behind this hydraulic vent tube. Go ahead and hold it in place and start them by hand. All right, we've reinstalled that back engine access panel. We'll go ahead and close our seat. And there we go. We've changed the oil in our Tilmor 520 tractor. And if there's any other videos you guys want to see, have any questions, or you need help with anything, please reach out. We'd be glad to help. Thank you.